everybody. Welcome back to You and I Builder Live, the show where one day I will have an actual introduction. My name is Maria Gabriela and I am an outbound product manager at ServiceNow. Joining me today is...
My name is Brad Tilton, and I am also an outbound product manager at ServiceNow. I didn't get an intro. I didn't get it seamlessly either, so...
Very well. Welcome, Brad. I am so happy to do today's show. It is the first show of 2024. Right. I am super excited for what this year is going to bring us. Thank you all again so much for joining us on our journey the last year. Today, though, what are we going to do, Brad?
Today, we are going to look at the standard record page, and we'll talk a little bit about what does that mean, standard record page, and then we are going to attempt to create a page collection and add something, either one of the tabs on the standard record page, probably in the contextual sidebar.
Awesome. And just for those of us who are joining us for the first time today, first of the year, this show is meant to be an exploration of UI Builder, where we learn stuff alongside all of our peers in the chat. We have fun, and I think that we show the real side of development, where not everything goes perfect, but it's okay because we can all get through it together. Lord knows the chat has helped us a lot.
That's right. And none of this is practiced or rehearsed. In fact, I have not done what we're doing today in at least a few months. So no promises that it even works, but we're going to try it and hope we may run into some issues, and they're probably the same issues.
May contain forward-looking statements. These statements are intended to be covered by the safe harbor provisions.
So guys, this is why you don't give your friends your AI voice, because now he can make funny things with it. So now, before Earl can distract us further, Brad, let's get started.
Oh, we didn't even test sharing my screen, huh? Great.
Let's see if sharing screen even works.
Hold on, my notes is on that screen. That's not going to be helpful. All right, so let's try this now. Seamless on coming back from break.
Completely rehearsed. Very well practiced.
It's this one. It worked. All right.
Yay!
Okay, so a couple of questions coming in. There are some requests for at least one topic, playbook activity in a custom workspace. I do want to hit on playbooks and workspace sometime in the near future, so we'll do that. Yeah, my shirt is an internal thing only. I love the MBA and I work for ServiceNow, so I had to get it. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the standard record page layout first. And so a little bit of background historically. So I'm going to open up Service Operations Workspace here. And
should we zoom in a little?
Scroll down. Yeah, I zoomed in a little bit, but this is a big monitor. All right, we'll start here. This is kind of a rough page to look at in general anyway. Here, I'll zoom in one more. So this is Service Operations Workspace. This is, my team is the Rockets. I grew up in Houston. I love the Rockets, just to answer that question. So the record page in ServiceNow in Workspaces, there's kind of three main pages. There's the landing page, the list page, and the record page, right? So those are the three main places that people go to do things. We have a lot of other pages. There's lots of possibilities for all sorts of circumstances and scenarios and use cases. Those are the big ones. Service Operations Workspace has some different variants of that record page. And so previously, the main one was this record SNC page. And then depending on what you're doing, if you're emailing or doing a catalog item, there's different versions of that, which are different variants. So if we look at this record SNC, which is kind of the first version of this record page. This is kind of the older version of the way that we used to do record pages when configurable workspaces and UI Builder first came out in Quebec. So you can see on the left here, there's not a ton going on, but this page is fairly complex. So where is everything that's happening? Part of it is in this record page tabs, which doesn't really help you out a lot. If you want to add a tab to record page tabs, it involved going into the platform view and adding things, and it was kind of difficult. And then the sidebar is kind of similar. We used all these viewports, and it could be kind of hard to work with. Also, if you wanted to add more things, you had to kind of manually configure a lot of things. So what we did in Tokyo was we added, we kind of changed the way some of these components work to where we created presets and controllers. So if I drag a preset enabled component onto a page, it will automatically add a controller to the page. A controller is a type of data resource, and it'll wire it all up together. So if you look at the form component, which is here, I don't even remember where the form component is. You have a lot of these things that if you were having to create this page from scratch yourself, this would be really hard to do because you just have to know all of these things. So that's the old version of the record page. The newer version of the record page, you'll see SRP or standard record page. So that's kind of the term for it. There's more going on the left here, but what that means is that it's a little more discoverable and you can tell what's happening a little better. So we have our form component, and then what's happening with our form component is these are all presets. So this is all kind of hard-coded in here. And if I were just to drag this form component onto a blank page, it would say, do you want to add a controller? And I would say yes, and then it would just wire it all up for me. So that's one of the kind of ways we're trying to make things a little easier. It also makes things a little different and newer to go ahead and add to these pages. So I'll stop. Gabby, you have anything to add or questions there?
No, I've mostly been trolling the chat.
Nice.
I love how it's an SRP record, though. Standard record page record.
Yeah. Yeah. So SRP is a term that we use a lot internally. And so it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of so we can all know what the difference between SOW record and SRP record are.
See, I just likened it to an ATM machine.
There you go. So let's look at this a little bit. Protection policy. So this is the out of the box page. So we're not able to edit it, which is good. You can see that it's using the controller for that one. And then if we come in here, we can see, why are we, oh, we can actually see things if I give it a, all right. So I can't do that. Can I add test URL parameters if I'm in the right scope? Yes. All right. We'll look at incident because that's what I generally look at. And then we don't have any test data in this. Oh, so we can use a new incident record. All right. So now we should see something in the middle here now that we gave the page some data. All right.
Oh, that's actually a really handy tip, putting in -1 in there. Nice.
Yeah, it actually did that for me. So I looked for it and I was like, oh, there's no data. And it says use new record. And so it added the -1 in, which is nice. All right. So now we have some things here. And you can kind of see where everything lives at this point. So we've got these record tabs left, the details. So the details is the same thing as the actual form, middle and right. And then we've got the side panel over here. So if we come in, what's record tabs left? main tab, record tabs left. So record tabs left is, okay, so this is the main tab, shows you all of the tabs, right? So the record page has a lot of tabs on it. And so this is one of the differences between the old version of the record page and the standard record page. And then one thing I should also say before we get going. So there's these two versions of record pages. And the old version, most of our workspaces were using that. But as of the November store release, most of our workspaces have a standard record page at this point. So I know SOW came out with one in the November store release. I believe 4.1.0 or 4.0.1 is the newest version of SOW. So if you want to upgrade, I think you have to be on Vancouver patch 3 or 4 to be able to upgrade. But you can get this newer version. And so one of the things that you'll see are all of the tabs that are in the tab collection there. And so let's go ahead and preview this. Sure, let's save and continue. We can kind of see what this page looks like a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and save this so that we can see all the tabs that are going to show up. Testing, yeah. Oh, come on. Who's up? Haley, you're part of our demo data, so this gets to be opened on your behalf.
Paige, you don't get to answer first version. You and Brad don't count.
Was it winter? I actually don't know. It's either winter or fall 2008 for me.
That's the exact same answer that Paige gives.
I don't remember. Yeah, so now we've got an overview tab, which I love putting an overview tab if you're creating a workspace or if you have a new record page on a workspace. I like an overview tab because when somebody's interacting with a record, a lot of the time they're not actually updating the record, and the overview tab gives you the opportunity to really surface the most important things about the record. You obviously still can have the activity stream and that sort of thing in here. But if you have a record type that most of the time people are just looking at it, they're not updating it, the overview tab gives you the opportunity to do all sorts of things. It could also be interactive. You could put buttons in there so that people could do things. Yeah. So we got details and then related records. And so related records has another vertical tabs component along with this horizontal tabs component. So we haven't actually done any development yet, and we're 15 minutes in, so we should start that soon. But the other thing is we've got the contextual sidebar here, which is just another tab component. So for Service Operations Workspace, we have Agent Assist. We've got some recommended actions. And so I think what we want to do for our task here is we want to add another icon that shows another page here. And I think we want to show, I don't know, we'll figure it out when we get there, but we should show some sort of information related to the logged in user, the caller, or the record itself in this tab here. So this is, I think, a lot of what people used to do with like field decorators and things like that may make more sense in the contextual sidebar in Workspace. So that's kind of something to think about. You also have the ability to customize this whole area. So, one thing that I always talk to customers about is, in the classic environment, you have a form and you're pretty limited to formatters and field decorators on forms. So I can stick things in between fields, or I can put things to the right of fields, but I can't really affect the page other than that. And so in Workspace, this page is a lot more configurable and customizable. So let's actually go do some development now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new page collection. So a page collection allows you to create pages that you show within viewports or tabs on a Workspace page. They can exist across workspaces, so it's one way to have some scalability. Generally, they generally have to be on a record page at this point. They have to work with a controller if you want to interact with the page data. Let's go ahead and create one. So this is the part where I'm a little fuzzy. It's been a while, so hopefully this works. So there are a number of page collections in there by default. I don't think this instance has too many workspaces. Yeah, not just service operations is the main one. So we're going to create a new page collection. I think I have, what's my scope here? Yeah, so I created a new app scope for this UIB live page collection probably. Let's read. I'm not going to read anything. We're going to call it.
That is a lot of text.
Brad SOW page collection. And what are our options here? Oh, it's all components. I think we want it to work with the form component, and there's a lot of options there. All right, actually, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back. So I already know there are some page collections that work with form tabs. And so I'm just going to copy the sys ID of one of those. Are there any record page? This is what I want. Tabs. Component is tabs. So.
And while you do that, we had a question in the chat. Can you add an existing page to a page collection?
No, you cannot. What's the short answer for that?
Thanks.
We do, if you want to softly play the safe harbor, we are looking at how to do some, make things more scalable. So how can we reuse things a little better? So that is something you can look forward to in the future. There we go. Nice.
So for those of us who might be joining us for the first time, we are product managers, which means we may say something called forward-looking statements. Basically, you should not make any purchasing decisions based off of anything that we say. You should only make purchasing decisions based off of what's in GA. But I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good practice to make no purchasing decisions based off of anything I say.
So did I copy the right? Let's go tabs. All right, we're just going to select tabs. Viewport, no. Controller. I think I do want a controller here. All right, so there's my page collection. So the page collection is kind of an umbrella. And then inside of that page collection, I'll be able to create pages. And do I do that here? No, I think we do that in UIB. Again, it's been a long time since I've done this. All right, so my page collection now shows up in UIB. I got it. I'm editing a page collection. So we're going to create a new page within this page collection. We're going to call it, let's start by just putting some info about the logged in user in this page collection. So user info, sure. All right, so let's go ahead and edit it. So we have this nice little message that says you're editing content in a page collection. The reason this is important is because page pages in a page collection can show up in multiple workspaces and multiple pages. So if you edit it in one place, I edit it is so hard to say. If you edit it in one place, then it'll show up in multiple places. So just something to be aware of. So we're just going to put something in here and kind of hope that it can show up on our SOW record page. So I think we're going to go stylized text. This is my favorite component.
It honestly makes me wonder sometimes how much different everything would be if you weren't the PM for this product. What component would everybody be using?
I don't know. And I don't know that the UIB team loves that this is my favorite component, to be honest. I mean, I do know that they don't love that it's my favorite component because it's kind of a catch-all. We actually have components for header and other things that are really a better practice to use. But this one's kind of easy and it does lots of stuff. And so I don't have to remember the names of the other components. So let's go context.
Like seeing behind the curtain. I had no idea those components existed.
Props? No, not props. Let's go. What we're gonna do is just show the name of the logged in user here. So how can, I want to talk more about this data binding, but I can't.
Safe harbor.
Isn't there more? Oh, because I don't have access to the page stuff. This is where we have some fun. All right. So this is helpful. So from this page collection, I'm inside of another page, so I don't directly have access to things that are in the URL or things that I would normally have access to in the UIB page. But I do have access to the controller that my record page is using. So that's why these page collections right now are really only useful on record pages, because record pages are the only pages that use controllers right now. That will change. We're introducing more controllers and more preset enabled components. But for now, it's really just record pages. In the future, there will be more pages that you can use these with, and we'll be able to communicate back to the parent. For now, we're going to use the controller. So let's go ahead and I don't remember what the layout of all this data is. I hit the wrong button there. So let's go form dot fields dot caller ID. I keep hitting dot instead of enter. And then do I need display value? Pretty sure I do, but we'll leave it at that.
Because you said it requires the controller, does that mean we're not going to have any data we can preview stuff from here?
We should, I think. Well, let's see. Fields assigned to, so that's going to show us the fields. Sometimes it takes forever to figure out what we actually, where the data lies. Description, name, value, no. Here, let's go. All right, so caller ID. It should have a value in here. I already scrolled past it. Some top level outputs? No. got to be in form. It's where Brad tries to remember how this works. Oh, let's go. Oh, because it doesn't know what our test data is. Yeah, so let's just try this for now. And it may end up being some JSON. All right, so I think that's all we need to do with this page collection. So now, do we need to do something in SOW? Let's see. I just changed to pink.
I realized that I hadn't fully set up this instance.
All right, so I think we need to do something to add the page collection. And y'all are all more than welcome to chime in if I'm doing something wrong. Again, it's been a while. We're all figuring this out together.
Does that test values drop down do anything in the top right corner?
Which one?
Test values where a preview would be for your page collection?
Oh, probably. I didn't see that. Should we go back and look at it?
I don't know why it's on the right instead of on the left, like in the pages, but it looks useful.
Well played. There we go.
So now let's look at the data
so
resource
actually
or the controller.
There now. Oh, I need to be here.
Yeah, I think you're...
There we go. We do have a value.
So I guess we do need display value.
Is that at the top there? Yeah. Yep, it's just color ID.
Not alphabetical.
All right, well, that does something. Now we have to figure out how to get this into the page itself. Let's go to settings. This page collection is not included in any of the experiences. So how do we include it in an experience? I think there's probably a couple of ways to do it, but let's go ahead and try something here. So I don't think we're going to be able to edit this record page without cloning it, but let's see what we can do without duplicating the variant first. All right, so in our sidebar tabs, and then so we're going to have to add another page collection here. So because I can't edit this page, we are going to duplicate this variant into a new one. I'm going to put my name on it, because why not? I think there's a way to do this without duplicating, without owning the page, and we'll figure that out. All right, so tab sidebar, we're going to add another page collection. So this is the tabs component. The tabs component, I can kind of create a custom tab. I can use a repeater to create tabs for me. I can specifically add related list tabs, or I can add a page collection here. So we're going to go page collection, and then I get to pick my page collection, which is this one. So now we have this one as well.
Quick question. Can you go back to the add tabs? And then go back to add page collection, please. If you scroll down, there's multiple records per record. What are we looking at here?
It's a wonderful question, Gabby.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not quite sure. They may be, it may be the same page collection and then pages that work with different controllers within the page collection. Seems like that could be it. I think this page now has a couple of controllers on it, but that's a very good question that someone should find the answer to.
I will add it to my notes.
I think you just volunteered. All right, so let's save that. And then we can use a preview here. We don't have to save and preview. I could have just previewed for the record. This was so my page collection still didn't show up. Do I need an existing incident? Let's do this. All right, so mine's at the top. Let's just go ahead and do a refresh here. See what shows up there. All right, so my page collection did not show up. So our sidebar tabs. User info default. Let's see what kind of things we can do here. So we can edit the page collection from here. I go to the settings for this page, no audiences, the order is 0. Top of the page, URL path. That all looks right. Let's go to the page collection itself and go to the settings. Form controller. It's used by Service Operations Workspace. Let's see if we need to do something here. It's not a viewport. What is app configuration? No, that's not gonna work. All right, let's do the same thing. All right, so first troubleshooting step, we're gonna flush the cache.
Wait, Brad, can you go back?
What am I going back to?
No, ignore that. That was
no.
Wait,
That was
Brad,
AI
can you go back?
Gabby.
Wait, Brad, can you go back?
I have made a mistake. Good morning to India. So I find it interesting because those tabs that we see there are from the other page collection. Would
They're
it
from
just
the other one, not ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a configuration step that I'm missing. I just don't remember what it is. We still have 15 minutes to figure it out. All right, let's find my page again. And then we did all sorts of things. Let's see if it works now. No, I don't think any of these are mine. So there's a place where you define the icon, and I think that's what we're missing because we have not been able to define an icon anywhere. So those look the same. It's our tab component. Collapse tabs by default. All right.
Did you check out the page configuration of the page collection? There's a label.
Did. Let's look at it again. So you think this label?
Could it be?
Anything is possible. This doesn't work. I'm going to have to go into my other instance where I know I have successfully done this before. Oh, well, now we got a label there. Our test value.
I don't know. I guess it's just a label for the body. Oof.
There we go. All right, talk amongst yourselves while I go look at something.
Okay, awesome. So let's see. So it's early January. You know what I'm thinking about? Knowledge, because that's basically going to be right around the corner before I know it. And I am super excited about hopefully getting to see people again, but also about all the cool content I'm going to make for Knowledge. If you guys have any suggestions, you should always drop them in the chat for any kind of content you want to see throughout the year or specifically at Knowledge. I'm trying to make a really cool custom app inside of a custom component inside of UIB right now that you guys may or may not have seen in a previous episode. And I hope that we can make it into something really awesome and fun to have at Knowledge. But I think we could probably kill some time talking about what our favorite Knowledge memories are, because that's all I can think about. Knowledge. I wake up, I think Knowledge. I go to sleep, I think Knowledge. It's haunting my Knowledge dreams.
Sounds good. We're going to have a lot of content at Knowledge. We've got a few labs. We've got some Ask the Expert sessions that'll be happening. All right, I'm kind of at a loss here, but let's go. We're going to try a couple of things. So let's look at all the other page collections that are here. And most of them have the controller specified, and I don't think no, we did do that. Okay, well, there goes that. We don't have any dependencies. Now let's look at
100% Ailey. My favorite part last year was all the community-based stuff that was in the little community content corner, basically is what I called it. There was the hackathon. There were all the community belonging group meetups. It was a ton of fun. I did skip karaoke this year because of what happened at New York in 22. I didn't want to lose my voice again, even though I did lose my voice again at Knowledge. It was great. I'd be happy to tell you that story anytime. That is literally me, Brad, right now. Like, I need to start doing so many things.
Brad, can you do that again?
Earl is going to cost so many.
I think I can tell at this point.
Okay, good.
I think we need an app configuration. I think this is right. Yeah. I think this is what we need. App configuration, I think would be, well, let's go back and look at the other ones. So we know attachments works. That one doesn't have an app configuration. But it has the controller dependencies. We don't have any dependencies. I promise I'm going to start. I'm going to stop just quickly clicking everywhere. But all right, I think we want a SOW app config there. No. And maybe not. All right, Andrew, I see your chat. Let's try it. It's the tab sidebar. Are you talking about it in here?
In UIB for the workspace, I think he means when you click on the tab component.
On the tab component? All right. I'm so far down the rabbit hole that I can't, that's not even the right thing that I clicked on there. Well, this is very annoying because I've done it before, but I couldn't find where I've done it before.
I am testing something out real quick. I made my own variant of your page because I think I have a suspicion.
We don't need conditions. All right, so we want to, let's just add a regular tab and see how it works. Tab label, test tab, create, let's add something in there. That's fine, let's workflow it. We will have this figured out by Wednesday of next week. Because we're going to do an academy on how to do this. This was like our test because I have very little time. So that didn't work. So that's our problem.
Oh, Brad.
What?
Oh, I hope this isn't it. 1 second. Okay, can you do me a quick favor and go back to the tab configuration, please?
Yes.
Go to tab right sidebar and then scroll down. Can you uncheck hide tab labels?
I think that's going to give us words instead of icons. Is that right? Yeah. Oh.
We didn't have icons, but they're there.
All right. Well, it's been fun, y'all. Great catch, Gabby. So now we just have to add icons.
That is so interesting. So our homework for Wednesday's Academy is going to be to figure out how to get those icons in there.
Are we
because
out of time?
obviously
We're doing it.
We should be out of time almost. Unless you want to keep trying to hunt for the icon or something else you want to cover.
I want to figure out how to put an icon in there because this has upset me.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and keep looking.
Yeah, I guess we can go to the record in the classic environment. I was hoping I could do it in UIB.
I do find that interesting, though. I thought with the way things typically work that it would make you pick between the page collection and then pick the item inside of the page collection. But it's pretty cool that it shows the items from both page collections, one on top of the other.
That is nice. All right, we're going to have to go route. Where can I specify an icon? Yeah, I think the view page collection settings just sends you to this page.
And then you can't open the record and then the page definition from there?
Page collection. Let's see if the page definition works. What else do we have? Variant record. Yeah, I would kind of expect this to be where the icon lives. Is it in the JSON?
I think it's in the JSON. I'm looking right now. In general rather than variant setting. There is not, Ailey.
I am at a loss. Where's our test? This was... So this did work once we figured out how to get it to show up.
So it was successful, technically speaking.
Technically.
It may not pass UAT, but...
It's all about how you measure success, and that's true in all sorts of areas. Let's see if we can find real quickly in here somewhere. So screens. Anything that looks like an icon. No. It would not be in anything related to declarative actions, but we will talk more about declarative actions. In fact, there was an incredible declarative actions article published last week by Dylan, and it is just about everything you ever wanted to know about declarative actions.
I'm going to send it to Earl so he can post it here.
There we go.
Because I just happen to have it up for no related reason whatsoever.
Yeah, so we'll get this figured out. I know I have it somewhere, and there's some instructions somewhere. So we'll get this figured out. The nice thing is, once we get it going, we'll do an academy next week, and then from that, we'll have a community article that will at least give you some guidance on how to, how to do this, and then how to get more into it. So obviously, and there's lots of people in the community that have already done this sort of thing and been successful with it. But once you kind of learn how to make these page collections and tabs work, you can do lots of things in here. So obviously Agent Assist and attachments and templates already are pretty interactive and let you do a lot of things. And then when you can create your own and have it be interactive and that sort of thing, it really kind of extends the capability of, what you're able to do on these record pages. Oh, that's the new one. That's why I don't have the... Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it for that. Unfortunately, we did not make it happen, but that's all right.
I mean, technically we did, though.
Yeah, that's true. It sort of worked.
It sort of worked. It won't get past peer review, but it'll be fine. The users don't need an icon to click. They can look at the labels. Right. It'll be great. Right. So thank you all so much for joining us again. One more time, we're going to have a Next Experience Academy on Wednesday, the 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we're going to have a couple of slides and a more structured demo, completely different from us today.
We're going to do this, but successfully.
We're not going to show real dev. It's just going to basically be a PowerPoint we're clicking through, but it's a great place to ask questions, have other resources, and a lot more is coming for us in the 2024 academies. Other than that, our next UNI Builder Live is going to be on Thursday, the 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern time, just like today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't remember off the top of my head what we're going to cover. Oh, right. We're probably going to talk about declarative actions. So you should totally tune back in 2 weeks if you want to learn more about those. We should hopefully have a fully working kind of mini lab we could go through.
Or just something new that we could figure out.
Totally. So thank you so much, Brad. It was a lot of fun. And thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. So soothing.
I'm waiting for AI Gabby to say something.
This presentation may contain forward-looking statements. These statements are intended to